What happens when we take our final breath? Does our existence dissolve into emptiness, or do we pass through portals beyond human comprehension? Welcome, soul traveler, to the mystery of mysteries. Today, we journey into one of the most profound and enigmatic texts of Tibetan Buddhism, the Bardo Thodol, widely known as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. This sacred text is not just a manual about death. It is a spiritual map, a guide through the mysterious transition beyond life, revealing what awaits the soul as it moves beyond the confines of mortality. More than a mere book, the Bardo Thodol serves as a bridge between the seen and the unseen. It offers a detailed account of what happens after death, providing guidance to the soul as it journeys through different states of consciousness. This text was written by Padmasambhava, a legendary spiritual master and the father of Tibetan Buddhism, who brought Buddhism to Tibet in the 8th century. Revered as Guru Rinpoche, meaning precious master, Padmasambhava was not just a monk, but also a profound yogi, a master of esoteric wisdom, and a teacher of mystical practices. His teachings were designed not only to guide the living, but also to assist the deceased in navigating the afterlife, offering them a path to enlightenment beyond death. The Bardo Thodol was meant to be read aloud to the dying and the dead, acting as a spiritual companion through the stages of transition. Its purpose is to remind the soul of its true nature, helping it to recognize the illusions that appear in the afterlife and ultimately guiding it toward liberation from the cycle of rebirth. The text describes the various states of consciousness that a soul will pass through, detailing the opportunities and challenges it will face during its journey beyond life. From a young age, Padmasambhava demonstrated extraordinary spiritual abilities and was recognized as a Mahasiddha, an enlightened being with profound spiritual powers. Invited to Tibet by King Trisong Detsen, he played a crucial role in integrating Buddhism into a land deeply rooted in Bon traditions, the indigenous shamanic beliefs of Tibet. Many local deities and spirits resisted Buddhism, but through tantric rituals and spiritual mastery, Padmasambhava harmonized these energies, blending Bon practices into Tibetan Buddhism. This synthesis laid the foundation for a unique Buddhist tradition that would later give birth to the teachings of the Bardo Thodol. Padmasambhava understood that the moment of death holds immense spiritual potential. At the time of passing, the mind is freed from the distractions of the physical body and is at its most receptive state. This makes death not just an end, but a profound opportunity, a gateway to ultimate truth and enlightenment. However, without guidance, the newly departed soul can become lost in confusion, fear, and attachment, missing its chance for liberation. Thus, the Bardo Thodol was composed to help souls recognize the illusions of the afterlife and find their way to spiritual freedom. The Three Bardos, a journey through death. Tibetan Buddhism teaches that death is not the end, but a transition, an opportunity for enlightenment. Padmasambhava understood that at the moment of death, the mind enters a heightened state of awareness, freed from bodily distractions. This unique state presents a rare chance for spiritual liberation, yet most souls become lost in fear, illusions, and karmic attachments. To aid them, the Bardo Thodol describes 3 transitional states, or Bardos, that the soul encounters after death. 1. Chikai Bardo, the moment of death. In this stage, the soul experiences the dissolution of the physical body and finds itself before the clear light of reality. This radiant, infinite presence represents the absolute nature of the mind, a state of pure awareness beyond duality, fear, or attachment. It is described as an overwhelming, dazzling light that can bring instant liberation to those who can recognize it as their true nature. For those spiritually prepared, embracing the clear light leads to immediate nirvana, where the cycle of rebirth ceases. However, many souls, due to fear, attachment, or ignorance, fail to recognize the light and instead recoil from it. This missed opportunity sends them into a deeper journey through the Bardos, leading them to confront visions shaped by their past karma. 2. Chonyid Bardo, the Bardo of visions. As Carl Jung once said, gods and demons are projections of the unconscious, powerful and inescapable until understood as parts of ourselves. This is precisely what the Chonyid Bardo reveals. Here, the soul encounters manifestations of its own mind, visions that reflect its accumulated karma, desires, and fears. The text describes these visions as both peaceful and wrathful, appearing in cycles. At first, the soul is greeted by peaceful deities, emanations of wisdom and enlightenment. These deities represent the highest potential of the mind, calling the soul toward transcendence. However, if the soul cannot embrace these manifestations, if it clings to doubt, fear, or ego, the peaceful deities morph into wrathful, terrifying figures. These beings are not separate entities. They are projections of the soul's deepest fears and suppressed emotions. For those who remain calm and detached, recognizing these visions as illusions, there is still a chance for liberation. But for those who panic, resist, or attempt to escape, the journey through the afterlife becomes increasingly difficult. The Chonyid Bardo is a mirror, a place where the soul sees its own mind reflected back at it with unparalleled clarity. 3rd, Sidpa Bardo, the Bardo of Rebirth. In this final stage, the soul is drawn toward a new life, guided by the magnetic pull of its past actions, thoughts, and desires. What Buddhism calls karma. The soul witnesses visions of potential parents, symbolic of the energetic forces that shape its next existence. Desire and fear dictate the next incarnation, leading the soul toward a rebirth that reflects its unresolved patterns. For those who achieve detachment and clarity, there is still one last chance for liberation. By recognizing the illusory nature of rebirth, the soul can break free from the cycle of samsara and merge into the clear light. However, most are caught in their karmic impulses, choosing reincarnation unconsciously. Beyond death, a path to liberation. The Bardo Thodol is not merely a religious text. It is a map for consciousness, a guide that extends beyond death into the very fabric of existence. It teaches that fear and attachment are the greatest barriers to enlightenment, and that true freedom comes from recognizing reality as it is. As Ram Dass once said, "When you die, there is only one question that matters. How much did you love?" This wisdom echoes the teachings of the Bardo Thodol, urging us to prepare for death by transforming how we live. By contemplating these teachings, we may not only face death with wisdom and peace, but also learn to truly live, free from fear, attachment, and illusion. If this journey into the unknown resonated with you, subscribe and share your thoughts below. The path to self-discovery is long, and together we can explore the greatest mysteries of existence.